Change is inevitable. It often presents itself as an insurmountable obstacle. As men, we are often expected to have answers to life's many challenges. How do we learn to embrace and adapt to change? The answer to these questions and more, from world-class psychotherapist, Mr. Kevin Bailey.
The reality is that we have been experiencing lots of change. So don't let change get you down, man. And, it is expected of us as men to have the answers for everything. And I want to say, sometimes it is difficult to be a man. Sometimes it is very difficult to be a man. One of my favorite authors, Dr. Scott Peck, wrote a book called The Road Less Traveled. And sometimes as men, it's how we feel. The road less traveled. And he says, life is difficult. He says, life is difficult, full stop. And then he says, if you truly understand how difficult life is, in a sense, it's no longer that difficult. And as men, don't let anybody tell you that it is easy to be a man of integrity, a man who is authentic, a man who is there for the long run, committed to finish the work we're called to do. But change is something that we have to wrestle with. How many of you love change? You may want to put that in the chat. Anybody, you love change? Just say, yes, I love changes. Well, let me tell you something. I love the change that I want. Those are the changes that I love. The changes that are exciting to me. But may I tell you, there are some changes I do not like. And yet they still happen. For the last 2 years or so, it has been a very challenging time for us as men. Not that we weren't impacted by changes before, but the pandemic, for instance, unprecedented. We have never seen it before. We never expected this, and it probably catch us off guard. And here we are still alive. And I have to offer my condolences and prayers to those of you who have suffered in some very harsh ways. You have lost loved ones whom you have had to grieve in unnatural ways because of the restrictions, and so we were not able to grieve the way we are accustomed to. It has been a difficult time for us as men and women as well. The entire world has been impacted by COVID-19 pandemic, and still we have to manage. How are we going to do this? I want to share a few pointers. Some of these things you may already be doing, and others you just want to be reminded of, so that we come out of this in a very good place. Talking about your mental health is important, because you have to have good mental health in order to manage some of the changes. According to World Health Organization, our mental health is defined as a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her full potential. We can cope with normal stresses of life. We can work, we can produce, we are productive and fruitful, and we will be able to make a contribution to our community. So our mental health, good mental health, is really meant when we have this state of mind that will allow us to fully maximize our potential, realize our goals. According to Abraham Maslow, would be self-actualization, according to what is it that you want to happen in your life. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your objectives? And we have to have a mission statement of our personal lives. What are you about as a man? And we need to define that, so that when things are changing, because they will, and we often heard the only constant is change, we have to be able to have our own mission statement that directs us and give us grounding, so that we can come back to it again. I find myself being interested in what Alvin Toffler says during this time. He says the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who can't read or write, but those who can't learn, unlearn, and relearn. The illiterate of the 21st century men will not be those who can't read or write, but those who can't learn, unlearn, and relearn. There are some things during this season that we have to learn, There are some things we have to unlearn, some bad habits, some attitudes that are keeping us down. And then there are some things we need to relearn, revisit them again. What a time for opportunity. Whenever there are crises, we know there are opportunities. And how are we going to deal with these changes? The serenity prayer also helps me during this time. God grants me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Very, very important. I want to say, do not catastrophize the situation. Don't make a bad situation worse. Sometimes we do that mentally. How do we do that? By embracing negative thoughts. For instance, persons will say, because of what has happened with the school system, we may say our children will never be able to go university. They'll never be able to accomplish those things that they were created to accomplish. Is that true? No, there's no truth in that. But we send those negative messages to our brain. We catastrophize the situation. And there are many losses, death, divorce, reduced working hours, loss of jobs, your financial situation reversed, your health situation, family situation, multiplicity of changes around us. And so we have to be able to deal with them. One thing I can tell you, do not join the 99 club. Do not join the 99 club, gentlemen. And you ask me, what is the 99 club? Thank you for asking. Well, here it is. There was this very wealthy man living in those days. He would ride a stallion. And one day he's riding this stallion and going over the territory. He sees a poor peasant, a farmer, working in the field. And the farmer is laughing and smiling and being excited about life. And he says, I can't understand it. This man is a poor farmer and he's so happy. And here I am wealthy and I am very unhappy. So he jumps off his stallion, he goes to the farmer, he says, good morning, sir. The farmer says, good morning. He says, tell me something, why are you so happy? He says, well, first of all, I am alive and I give thanks for life. Then I have work. And then I have a roof over my head and I have a family that loves me. I am a very happy man. And the rich man says, no, it cannot be. He jumps on his horse, he calls his chief advisor and he says to his advisor, no, you tell me something. Why is it that a poor farmer can be so happy and I have so much and yet I am not happy, I am miserable? And the chief advisor says that is because he hasn't joined the 99 club. He says, 99 club? He says, yes. Now tell me something. The advisor says, give me 99 pieces of gold and let me give it to the farmer and then observe what happens. So the rich man gives him 99 pieces of gold. And he carries it to the farmer, and he gives it to the farmer. The farmer is excited. The farmer carries it home to his wife. And they lay out the table, throws the 99 pieces of gold onto the table and they're counting it, 97, 98, 99. And the farmer says to the wife, where is the other piece? And the wife says, the other piece? I don't know, but we have gotten 99 pieces of gold. We should be happy and celebrating this. And the farmer says, quiet, woman, I have to find the other piece. Well, guess what? The entire night he's searching for the other piece of gold. His wife gets frustrated. She went to bed. In the morning, he has no sleep at all. And then in the morning, she says hello. He barely grunts at her. The children are saying hello. He barely pays them any mind. He goes out into the field, and instead of being happy, instead of singing and being smiling again, he has this feeling distraught and grumpy. And now the rich man rides by with the chief advisor, and the advisor says, look at him, he has now joined the 99 club. Gentlemen, may I tell you something? Do not join the 99 club. You have to be grateful for those things that remain, those things that you have.